when they file to go public, but before they actually do go public, just like Jeff was envisioning, this attracts a lot of attention. And that's mostly a good thing.
He's correct on the marketing exercise. This is a big way to legitimize them to consumers. It enables many more people to feel comfortable typing their credit card on the internet, things like that.
Everything like that. And also this other thing ultimately is a good thing too. Not at the time. It attracts the attention of the Riggio brothers, who are the founders and CEO and chairman, separately CEO and chairman of Barnes & Noble. You know, they knew about Amazon, but they're like, whatever, you know, Amazon, internet, like, psh, you know, we don't need to worry about that. Well, all of a sudden, this little company in Seattle is filed to go public.
And is claiming to be Earth's largest bookstore.
Yeah, they're like, that doesn't sound right to us. I just think of like Borders. Like, yeah, Barnes & Noble is great, but Borders was the big thing. But now we know from the Walmart episode, Borders was out of the game. Kmart had acquired them, and
yep,
the founders had moved on. Louis Border had moved on.
To start Webvan.
So great. So great.
Isn't that crazy?
Barnes & Noble was the juggernaut. Now, the Riggio brothers, when Amazon files for an IPO, they fly out to Seattle and they schedule a dinner with Jeff. And Jeff brings along Tom. Because Tom, in addition to being just wonderful human, great advice, mentor to both of us, he was a lawyer earlier in his career. He was like a very high profile corporate lawyer. So he's got the right set of skills to bring to this dinner.
Yes.
So the Riggio brothers, their father was a New York City cab driver and a semi-professional boxer who twice defeated Rocky Graziano. Len, the kind of lead of the two of them, I think the older brother, he technically did go to NYU, but like, let's just say they went to the University of Hard Knocks. Their way of doing business is very different. Also, we got to talk about this. I don't think you have any idea. Do you know, just like we talked about last episode about the whole crazy, you know, Borders, Kmart, Webvan, Kiva came out of Webvan, which of course Amazon acquired.
And right. Kiva Robotics.
Yep. Incredible history. Do you know what the Riggio brothers spun out of Barnes & Noble? I'm not talking about the Nook or barnesandnoble.com. You're never going to guess this.
No.
It actually makes sense. GameStop.
No way. Really?
I'm dead serious. So, okay. It was actually Software, etc.
I got to look at the stock price of both of these.
GameStop is the merger of Software, etc., which spun out of Barnes & Noble, and Babbage's Software. Remember Babbage's back in the day?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
They were like a video game and computer software retailer. Yeah, GameStop, freaking GameStop.
Oh my God. Okay, what do you think Barnes & Noble Education Inc. is from a market cap perspective today?
Oh, maybe 500 million?
143 million.
Okay, what's GameStop today?
10.3 billion.
Yeah.
Built purely from an intrinsic value model that I have here in front of me.
Stonks, baby.
I assume Barnes & Noble Education Inc. is Barnes & Noble, the big company. BNED is their ticker.
I think there might have been a bankruptcy in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think you end up cratering this far without some kind of recapitalization or something happening.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Barnes & Noble cratering, this dinner didn't help. So these two, like, you know, tough New York guys, they're like, where you come at? This nerd out in Seattle. Like, go listen to our episode with Tom. His personality is not blustery, you know, brash New Yorker, you know, like, I'm sure the Riggios came to this dinner and they were just like, we're going to freaking crush these, you know, geeks. Oh, boy, did they not. So they go home after the dinner.
And the dinner was sort of like a soft, we want to buy you, or was the dinner a soft, we're going to run you out of business?
It was both.
Yeah.
It was, hey, we've heard about you. You know, we're Barnes & Noble, right? And, you know, we've been thinking about doing the internet. We're going to do it. We could buy you and you could be our internet thing, or we could crush you. I think that's how the dinner went.
And by the way, the 1996 Wall Street Journal piece that did wake the world up to this was titled Wall Street Whiz Finds Niche Selling Books on the Internet. I always think back on the Wall Street whiz for Jeff Bezos.
Well, and actually, what the Riggio brothers are saying, this is what everybody thinks. So when Amazon does go public, it's not a great IPO. They price on May 15th, 1997. They raised $54 million at a $438 million market cap. And then they trade down on day one.
It was like $17 a share that they went public at. And then I think they trade down on day one, but they would eventually trade all the way down to like $5 a share in the dot-com bust.
Well, it would rocket back up. They went through the wave and then the fall.
Yes.
But the head of Forrester Research, the big research firm, they write a note about Amazon and the industry
called Amazon.toast.
They title it Amazon.toast. And it's not because of eBay. It's not because of blah, blah, blah. It's not because of the dot-com crash. It's because they think Barnes & Noble is going to kill them. Oh, boy. So what are the Riggio brothers doing? They go back home to New York and they do two things. One, they launch a new project, new, initiative within the company with the code name Book Predator.
In case there was any confusion.
In case there's any confusion about what the intent of this is and that they're going to kill Amazon with the new barnesandnoble.com. The other thing they do is sue Amazon, and they conveniently for them, or inconveniently for Amazon, announced the lawsuit 3 days before the IPO prices.
Brutal.
Hence the Amazon.toast memo. And they sued them for, Ben, what you said of Amazon claiming to have Earth's largest selection of books. And I think the suit is like, well, you don't have a store. You can't go select the books.
That's so pedantic and annoying.
So, like I said, the IPO happens. It's not great. The stock trades off. But a couple of weeks later, Amazon does their first quarterly financial reporting as a public company. They report Q2 1997 earnings of $28 million. Remember, they only did 15.7 the whole year before. They did 28 million that quarter.
Unbelievable.
So Wall Street reverses course. The stock takes off. For the full year of 1997, they do just a hair under $150 million in revenue. So that's 10x the year before.
Oh my God. 10xing on that kind of base, especially right when you're going public. I mean, this is the stuff that makes investors go nuts. You can see how this very quickly becomes a darling stock.
Who got the truth? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Sit me down, say it straight. Another story on the way. Who got the truth? Who got the truth now?